Research-grade peptides versus medical grade, they might look identical, come in similar vials, and even have the same name on the label. But what if the difference between them is the difference between predictable results and complete uncertainty? And here's the real question. In 2026, when peptides are more popular than ever, do most people actually understand what they're putting into their body? Because this is one of the most misunderstood and most important topics in the entire peptide space. And after everything we've explored on peptide culture, from fat loss systems to peptide pens, delivery methods, and advanced stacks, today we're going deeper into something that most people ignore until it's too late. Because this is not about which peptide works. This is about what you're actually getting. Let's start with the basics. On the surface, research-grade and medical-grade peptides can appear almost identical. Same peptide name, same dosage label, same vial presentation. But the difference is not in what's written on the label. The difference is in how they are produced, tested, regulated, and used. Let's start with medical-grade peptides. Medical-grade peptides are produced under strict pharmaceutical standards known as good manufacturing practices, often referred to as GMP. This means controlled production environments, verified purity levels, batch-to-batch consistency, extensive safety testing, regulatory oversight. These peptides are designed for human use. They are approved, prescribed, and distributed through regulated medical systems. For example, medications developed and distributed by companies like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly and Company follow strict pharmaceutical protocols. When you use a medical-grade peptide, you are not just using a compound. You are using a controlled, validated system. You know what you're taking, how much you're taking, and what level of purity it meets. That predictability is what defines medical grade. Now let's look at research-grade peptides. This is where things get complicated. Research-grade peptides are typically produced for laboratory research purposes only. They are not approved for human consumption. They are often labeled for research use only. And that label exists for a reason. Because these peptides are not required to meet the same standards as medical-grade products. This can mean lower or inconsistent purity, lack of standardized testing, variability between batches, unknown contaminants or byproducts. Now here's where the confusion begins. Some research-grade peptides may still be high quality, but the key word is may, because there is no guarantee, no universal enforcement, no consistent regulatory oversight, which means two vials with the same name could be completely different in reality. And this brings us to the biggest misconception in 2026. A lot of people believe if it's the same peptide, it should work the same. But that assumption ignores one critical factor. Purity and structure determine function. Even small differences in peptide folding, contamination, or degradation can change how the compound behaves in the body. So it's not just about what the peptide is. It's about how accurately it matches its intended structure and how clean that structure is. Now let's talk about why research-grade peptides are still so popular. The answer is simple: accessibility and cost. Research-grade peptides are often easier to obtain and significantly cheaper than medical-grade alternatives. And in a world where peptide demand is rapidly increasing, many people are drawn toward what is more available and affordable. But that convenience comes with trade-offs. Because when you reduce cost, you often reduce control. And when you reduce control, you increase uncertainty. Now here's where things get more serious. In 2026, the rise of peptide popularity has also led to a rise in unregulated markets. Online vendors, underground labs, and third-party sellers are distributing peptides with varying levels of quality. Some may provide lab reports, some may claim high purity, but the problem is verification. Because without standardized regulation, those claims are not always reliable. And this is where the risk shifts. Not from the peptide itself, but from the source of the peptide. Now let's compare them directly. Medical-grade peptides offer verified purity, consistent dosing, regulatory oversight, clinical validation. Research-grade peptides offer lower cost, easier access, but variable reliability, and limited oversight. So the real difference is not just quality, it's certainty versus uncertainty. Now let's talk about something deeper. Why does this distinction matter so much? Because peptides are not like supplements. They are biologically active signaling molecules. They interact with receptors. They influence hormones. They affect metabolism, recovery, and even neurological pathways, which means small variations can have significant effects. And that's why precision matters. Now let's address another misconception. Some people believe that research-grade peptides are basically the same as medical grade.
Chinese, whatever, backwater with a bad pH, that's one of the bigger culprits. But another culprit is, bad manufacturing conditions. A number of things can go wrong in the process, from producing the APIs all the way to the lyophilization process. So, it happens. And some peptides are more prone to it than others, like AOD is prone to it. Depending on who you're sourcing from, you may be told you have to use acetic acid. In fact, they include it, and don't buy it from them. You don't need acetic acid to reconstitute AOD. You just need constant vacuum. But we have a video about that you can find on our channel. This is a batch of oxytocin that we received, and it is crap. It fogs no matter what. Here's a bottle of it, and this is foggy as all get up.
Just without branding. That's not entirely accurate, because medical-grade peptides are part of a regulated system. They go through clinical trials, stability testing, toxicology evaluation, long-term safety assessment. Research-grade peptides do not go through this full process for human use, which means there is a gap, not just in quality, but in evidence and validation. Now here's the big picture. This debate is not about saying one is good and the other is bad. It's about understanding the level of certainty you are working with. Medical-grade techs, high certainty. Research-grade techs, variable certainty. And in biology, certainty matters more than most people realize. Now let's bring this back to you, because this is where the decision becomes personal. If someone is using peptides within a clinical, medically supervised environment, medical-grade products are the standard, because they provide predictability, safety, and accountability. But outside that system, the landscape becomes less clear. And that's where understanding becomes more important than ever. Now let's zoom out. The rise of peptides in 2026 is not just about new compounds. It's about access. More people are exploring peptide-based systems than ever before. And with that growth comes a responsibility to understand what is being used. Because the difference between research grade and medical grade is not just technical. It's practical. It affects outcomes. It affects safety. It affects trust. So here's the real question. If two peptides look the same on the outside, but one is fully tested, regulated, and consistent, and the other is variable, less controlled, and uncertain, which one would you trust with your results? Because in this space, that choice matters more than people think. If you want real, up-to-date, no-hype breakdowns of peptide science, make sure you subscribe to Peptide Culture. And tell me in the comments, do you think research-grade peptides are worth the risk, or is medical grade the only reliable option?